welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
It's still the holiday season, everybody. I know we said that last time, and we skipped a week, but we're back, and we didn't let you know we skipped a week, just like Howard Stern does. He wants you to... I don't know what he wants you to do. He wants you to keep listening, but you got nothing to listen. So anyway, we're back.
I actually do. Oh, didn't we mention we were taking a week off? I don't know.
I cut it out.
Oh, you cut it out. Okay.
Yeah.
I did say it at the end of the last show, but
I remember
I said I may cut this out.
I was on vacation, and yes. I had a great time, and I'm happy to be back hanging out with you guys.
There you go.
Dave cuts it out, frankly, because he believes one of you will try to rob Barry's house. That's what it is.
My house wasn't empty.
Let me tell you something.
Two 20-year-olds.
I don't ever post when I'm away.
No, and you shouldn't. You should not.
I know you had people home, but you know you're going to walk in and 2 of your 3 kids are going to be held hostage.
Yep.
Whatever. Survival of the fittest. The 20
That's
and
why you have
19
extra kids,
here.
Barry.
Yeah. And actually, by the end of it, all 3 of them were here, so it's fine. And my dog. So
you never leave an empty house. And his 98-pound Rottweiler, so just be careful.
Yes.
So anyway, I'll give you just before we even random before random. It's the holidays and you got to shop for everybody. I went to, and I don't know if you guys we have a Barnes and Noble near us. That's just massive. That is such a great place. Not only is it like go get a book. I know, and believe me, I buy most of my books on Amazon, but just to walk around and get some gift ideas, not to mention, they got everything. Not everything. They have games, like serious, like Catan and all those serious games, and puzzles, and books, and notebooks, and different gifts. I just, walked around for a half an hour as Pam was finding stuff, and I just got a lot of gift ideas.
Good. So, I'm going to have to go there because I need some gift ideas.
I do, too.
I do have one not far from my house.
But I don't know if yours is mine. I was just I'm glad there's still a brick and mortar
Mine's
bookstore.
big, and it's got a vinyl section and movie section and a toy section.
We have a Starbucks in ours.
Yeah, we have a Starbucks in there. So
I think they're still there.
I think this weekend I'm going to go there to see if I get inspired to buy some gifts for some people.
There you go.
And a little tip, if you're a teacher, they'll give you 15% off everything. So
there you go.
Works for you.
Yep. It wasn't for you guys. Okay. The tip wasn't for the 2 of you. But.
Yeah, it's for everyone else listening.
Yeah, for all the teachers in the audience.
All right, let's go random.
I'll go.
There you go.
All right.
I wanted to see who would.
I'll go.
Speak up.
I've got a couple of things to say about Avatar and James Cameron. So that movie comes out this week. James Cameron has said a few things that I thought were interesting.
I hope it's one of the ones I have that I didn't write. But
okay, so I've got a few things. So the first one was that he said the Na'vi are no comparison to all the CG characters in the Marvel movies like Thanos.
I heard that.
He said that what he's done is so much better that there's no comparison. It's not even close. So, okay.
He's an arrogant dude.
Okay, here's my favorite one, though. The Avatar 4 script. Now, mind you, Avatar 2 is the one that comes out this week. Avatar 3 has been completely shot, but not edited yet. But the script for Avatar 4, he said he got 0 notes from the executives at the studio, and that all they said to him was, and I'm sorry, I'm going to curse, they said, holy fuck, is what they said to him. Now, he also said he got 3 pages of notes on the Avatar 2 script, 1 page of notes on the Avatar 3 script, and the Avatar 4 script was so perfect that they had no notes for him.
Or they're not going to waste their time until whether they know they're going to make the freaking movie. It's like...
Yeah, why get into a fight with the guy?
Why, exactly. Why get into a pissing
ego
contest with James Cameron when you don't know whether you're going to write him a check yet or not?
I think the holy fuck comment was, wow, you wrote 4 scripts?
It's like, dude, you are into this shit.
I've got more. So Warner Brothers has not Warner Brothers. I'm sorry. Disney has not disclosed what the budget for The Way of Water is, but there's Hollywood Reporter said the estimates are $350 million, putting it in the top most expensive, one of the most expensive movies ever made in history. James Cameron told GQ magazine that The Way of Water needs to make $2 billion to break even. To break even.
Yeah.
$2 billion.
And
only crazy. 4 movies besides Avatar in history have made $4 billion.
Yeah.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
So, wait, and I'm not yet done. So, Avatar 3 is fully shot and is designed in a way that it can be turned into the franchise conclusion if Way of Water doesn't perform well at the box office.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't perform as good as any movie's ever performed.
My take on
at
this
least it's $2 billion.
is James Cameron revisited Avatar after all these years away, and he said, what this needs, and he thought about his past successes, and he says, what this needs is more water. And so basically he's going to
the Abyss was a
Titanic route.
hit, so
And
Let me tell you something. I like most of his movies. I mean, you know, they're great.
Me too.
I mean, there's no denying they're great. But I read a quote a week or so ago that said, James, and I'm paraphrasing, James Cameron says he has about 5 movies left in him to make. 4 of them are Avatar. That's the saddest thing I ever heard.
Well, and I don't want to be misunderstood. I am not rooting against James Cameron here. I am pulling for him.
Either.
I'm hoping that these movies are literally the second coming of theater. But
Early talk is that it's amazing, and I think the Golden Globe nominations came out today. I think it was nominated for Best Picture. I guess with an early preview.
I want to go see it. I really do. I haven't made plans to see it yet.
I don't really want to go see it, but
I feel like I need to rewatch the first
kind of have to go
one.
see it.
But in order,
I know that's maybe something we're going to do. Pam claims she never saw it.
Maria
now, let me ask you:
nobody
did
in my
we
family
see it
ever
together?
saw it. No,
huh?
Nobody in my family has ever seen it but me.
Did we see it together?
I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
Because she's like, I didn't see it. Well, I'm like, who would you have seen it with if you didn't see it?
I did see it. I did see it twice in a
Me
theater.
too.
So
I saw it
could have
twice
saw
in
it
the
with you
theaters.
guys.
I'm pretty sure I saw it with my friend Mike.
I don't know who I saw.
We just
got
to look up when it was released because it's possible. Yeah.
But yeah, so but that's what's kind of also preventing me is that I just don't know if I want to make a commitment to 3 hours to rewatch Avatar and then go see this movie in the theater for another 3 hours.
I hear you.
It was on the other night on ABC with commercials, which I was not going to do.
You can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do you have any 3D apparatus to watch it in 3D?
No. I still have my 3D TV, but I got rid of all the glasses. No.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm not ever going to watch anything.
I never got the glasses.
I might go see this Way of Water and watch it in 2D. I don't know that I need to see it in 3D.
You need to see it in 3D.
I guess.
You're going to wonder otherwise.
I feel like
Dave, were you the one that told the joke about James Cameron or James Cameron in heaven?
Yeah, I have told that joke.
Yes, yeah. Can we do that?
It's a big film.
Yeah. So what? The
Community
director
joke.
goes to heaven, and all these famous directors are there, but James Cameron's telling him what to do.
And it's like, oh, there's Alfred Hitchcock, and he's writing the script, and there's now I'm drawing up Howard Hawks, and he's talking to the production designer, and there's whoever, Jimmy Stewart, and he's acting in the movie, and there's Betty Davis, and she's the actress in the movie, and there's Bill Goldman. I don't know if he's dead.
Yeah.
He's writing the script, and high up on the crane, it's like, is that James Cameron directing everything? And then the St. Peter says, no, that's God. He just thinks he's James Cameron.
Yep.
He's made some of my favorite movies of all time.
It never gets old.
I'm not counting him out,
movies.
but he's being a little cocky right now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, Tal, what do you got?
So, while we're on the subject of Disney gone crazy, Marvel Studios has advanced their choices for Oscar picks, and among them for Best Picture is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Is that the only thing that came out last year?
No, Wakanda Forever is in there too, and so is Doctor Strange. But just the idea that they could be so inwardly looking that they would think of promoting Thor: Love and Thunder for a Best Picture Oscar, when basically, okay.
That was the Kevin computer doing that.
Oh
that
my
wasn't
God.
actually Kevin Feige doing it.
It's
That's funny.
that is like the absolute utter height of denial.
But that's the epitome of drinking your own Kool-Aid. I mean,
Well, all the movie houses, all the they all push things for your consideration for the Oscars. So, but that's the one you picked.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Although they do have a hand in Spider-Man, that's better than any of those movies.
Yeah.
On the other side of the fence, there's more news coming out of DC Studios, and they just they need to shut up about what they're not doing. I think because that seems to be more interesting than what they're doing at this point.
I read a bunch of stuff from James Gunn, and I feel like he said we're not going to please everybody. So I do think he had, and I get where they're coming from. I think some things are happening where they got to get things off people's radar, like and one of the, I don't know if you jump Wonder Woman 3 is not happening anymore.
Yep.
And I don't know if you read the follow-up story to that I think just came out today. Patty Jenkins was asked to rewrite the script.
Yep, I had that too. The script that she submitted was rejected.
And she said she was leaning heavy into sort of the character arcs that came out of Wonder Woman 84, which we all thought was horrible. And they're like, we need a rewrite. And she's like, I'm not rewriting it, and she quit.
It's very interesting. A year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. Well, when did Wonder Woman 84? So
2 years ago. I think it's 2 years ago.
2 years ago, we were like
2 years on Christmas.
Holy crap! Wonder Woman 84 is going to be amazing, and she's making Rogue Squadron. Like this, Patty Jenkins can do no wrong. And now both of those projects are dead.
Wonder Woman 84 was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I mean, it sucked. And now they're talking about Man of Steel, your favorite, scrapped. I get it. And, there was a quote that I know I took a picture of it. And now I know why blah, blah, blah. It seems like everything is leading to James Gunn closing the curtains on the Snyderverse for a fresh start. And I think that makes
I think it does. I think it does make sense. And the other one I was going to mention is they said there was a Batman Beyond film in the works with Michael Keaton, and that's shut down, and that kind of breaks my heart because that would have been. I think that would have been perfect. And that's basically Batman, elderly Batman as a mentor to his apprentice, who's the new Batman, and was one of my favorite cartoons. Could have been awesome. Do you think, and again, so we know Man of Steel 2 is shut down. He said last week that Superman is the top priority.
As it should be right now.
I don't know. It shouldn't be. Batman should be a top priority. You're never going to sell.
But Batman is. But they're not stopping Batman.
No, but I'm saying
they have a good Batman,
and that's what I'm saying. But do you think, take this Batman, okay, that came out this year, and wipe the slate clean of every single other thing? Just say
that's what I think they're doing.
And they got to release Flash because they got so much freaking money in it. There's another Aquaman movie, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right. What I read was that actually the four things that are still going to come out under the previous regime were Flash, Aquaman, Blue Beetle, and Shazam 2.
Okay.
That's
when they
can.
Yeah.
That's when that's when
Black Adam
and so then
sequel canceled.
Then you just pour concrete and you pave over that whole era, and you like I said, you got a viable Batman that you start with, and then you build everything up separately. And you do the Marvel thing, and you establish the characters, and you don't rush into cramming them all together in one big movie. I was thinking of the multiverse thing where you could have this Batman and that Batman and this Superman, whatever. I think
why make it that complicated?
Close the door.
It's too complicated.
Let 2025 be a new era or whatever it is, 2024, whenever they can get something ready to go, and you don't look backwards.
And, I know they're talking Henry Cavill coming back, and I thought he was a good Superman, and I love Gal Gadot, but if there's too much baggage attached to them, do you start over? I mean, could you keep them? Yeah. Who knows Gal Gadot, where she sits? But the other thing is, if you're looking if we're going to start over with, Iron Man, You got 10 years out of Iron Man. You're not getting 10 years out of Henry Cavill or Gal Gadot.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
And that's just it. And do you keep a universe where they can do cameos and they can do successively less, or do you start from scratch and build new? And I think for the audience they want, they got to start from scratch and build new. And I think
they're trying to figure that part out.
He could be the one to do this.
But they're continuing to make it confusing, because the other piece of this is that Henry Cavill is going to show up in The Flash. They shot stuff this past September.
But I'm saying is
he's
Leto
going to be in it, Gal Gadot's going to be in it, and Jason Momoa.
This isn't a flip the switch thing. I'm saying when these final films come out, announce another Batman film or whatever you got to do as a stopgap thing in between, but then you go new, because this is just not, there's so much baggage, and you use the right word, Dave. It is baggage.
But it does also feel like they can, and why I said I agree that I think Superman is their highest priority, because they've got a Batman, but they've screwed up Superman. I mean, and who should be their second biggest property, if not their biggest property?
Yeah.
They've also got this Superman enmeshed with another Batman and other. It's just you can't separate you can't break these characters out and say we're gonna. You can't do a la carte and then intermingle them again. And if they want to have a connected universe, they're going to have to start new.
Well, and so the other thing I'll just add to that. I finally started watching Titans, the new season of Titans, and it's good. But what immediately annoyed me was when they brought Star Labs into it, and they started going to Star Labs, and I'm like. And I get it. I get that these things aren't meant to all be connected, but it's just annoying that we spent so many seasons with Star Labs. It kind of established what it was, and now it's something different again. And
but I will say in Titans, Star Labs is what Star Labs is. It's not what it is in the comics. It's not what it is in the Flash. This is a different universe. They established.
I know it is, but that's also what has bothered me about DC for years now. Is there's too many different things going on. I love what Marvel did, was they found a way to tie it all together, even if it was loosely tied together.
Right.
Instead, DC is like, all of these things are DC, and they're all different, and you have to figure it out.
They're trying to tie together TV, animation, live action movies. And I get it. I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn is sitting somewhere it's like, look, can't we just scrap everything? Can't we scrap the Flash? They'd be better served. I mean, I get it. You can't because honestly, if you start today and make a new movie, you're not going to have something out for the next 2 years. So
this is one of the reasons that I think they killed that Batgirl movie, because it had a foot in like 3 different universes. All it was going to do is confuse people. You had a Commissioner Gordon from one Batman, but you had the Batman from another universe, and it was just
I think they got to suffer through 23 with whatever they have and start fresh.
Yep.
I mean,
cut their losses and And you know what? That would be exciting to see what they're going to do, and because you go back and it's like you think of these. There have been moments in here where you kind of saw the potential for greatness that they never really seized on and moved forward with. But, Wonder Woman was terrific. The first appearance of Wonder Woman in Superman vs. Batman was the only good thing in that movie. There's been different things. Ben Affleck as Batman had potential. They just didn't use it. It's like there's all these. I think Henry Cavill made a very good Superman. He was just grossly misused. So now you go back with the lessons learned and you start over. And you got to start with a younger round of heroes. Because, as you said, Dave, you've got to get 10, 15 years out of these people.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's kind of a year one thing with all these people. And they're meeting for the first time and whatnot. But that works. And you don't do shit like putting Gotham City next to Metropolis, but 2 people have never noticed each other before.
You got to get away from the Snyder stink. Anyway, okie dokie. Any other things?
Yeah, I had one other, but it'll wait.
David Duchovny says he doesn't know about the X-Files future because Gillian Anderson doesn't want to return. And I say
His calls. Oh,
the
yeah.
X-Files is over, buddy.
Yeah.
You've beaten that horse. I don't want to do that because that's not the horse. You've beaten that show into the ground and left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
You've beaten the show. You've beaten the movies. You've beaten all. Like, yeah, I mean,
it's still no Chris Carter. You're a jerk off.
And they came back, but they came back with kind of sucked. So like,
and then they came back with a second season, and that really, that sucked. So it's over, Johnny. You know what's not over, Fanboy Collectibles? It's the holiday season.
Yes, it is.
That is the place to do your shopping, everybody. Tons of stuff in stock. Hot Toys Doc Brown. Hot Toys Doctor Strange from The Last Spider-Man. No Way Home in stock. Bo-Katan in stock. Pre-order on She-Hulk. There's She-Hulk Pops. There's that guy from that cartoon show you guys like.
Yes, not Omni-Man is in stock.
Not the Omni-Man.
The omnipotent hero man.
Yes.
He's in stock.
You know what else is in stock? The Hot Toys What If Hydra Stomper and Steve Rogers figure.
Yes, that is in stock.
Yes. So they got anything you need. I guarantee they probably have gift certificates and stuff, you know. Call Troy and say, hey, I love the Regular Joe's podcast. Can you send the host some money? Some gift certificates. Don't do that. We have enough money.
You know what else is in stock that we saw? I think I saw it at Rhode Island Comic Con that was really cool. It's a 3D Jaws poster.
Yes,
that
movie
thing is
poster
cool.
statue. It's so cool, and it's
that.
got the little girl swimming across the tide. It's great, and that's in stock.
I'm not a
That's awesome.
super big Jaws person, but that is a very cool thing.
Yeah.
There's cool stuff. There's plenty of stuff. So check them out. There's Sideshow and Hot Toys and Kotobukias and Hasbro and all kinds of stuff. Check them out online, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out in person in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Okay, we didn't even discuss where we're going. And so here's where we're going. Indy trailer.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We have a title now.
I do not like that title.
Not sure about that title. But
Anybody?
I'm fine with it.
Are you?
Yes. We should not know from the title what's going to happen and what it's going to be.
But it sounds weird. I don't know if I don't like
Kingdom
that
of the
title.
Crystal Skull didn't sound great either.
It
but-
sounds like
Exactly.
he's going to have some activity with a phone. I mean, like, I don't know.
It's a rotary
is it gonna
phone,
be
is the MacGuffin.
80-year-old Indy, like, how do you dial this thing again?
Do I dial a 1? Is it a 9 first? Yeah.
It's
There
funny
was
if,
no
if,
ones
if
back
the
in
movie
the
was in the
60s.
70s, then it could have been him looking at a push button phone, going, "Where's the dial?"
Yeah.
That could be it. Anyway,
It's an
there's a lot
action-packed
going
trailer.
on.
It's an
It's a
action-packed
good
trailer.
Definitely, obviously, it takes place in the moon landing. I'm assuming that's the moon landing parade.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I love seeing Sala
moon
back.
landing or like test, like you think that's the moon landing?
I thought they referenced the moon
Okay.
landing not in the thing, but in it's. But it's funny. Did you ever think you'd see them in Manhattan? I mean, that's like Indiana Jones in Manhattan seems weird.
Yeah.
But I mean,
On
you really
horseback.
couldn't
In a
on
subway.
horseback, no less, in the subway.
Right.
Spoilers. If there's no
Not
spoiler
recommended to
trailer.
people. Don't try that at home.
But I mean, I get the good thing is you can really not get anything out of it. But it looked like there was a lot of fun
Yeah,
stuff.
you see some of the current day, current time indie. You see some of the de-aged indie. I like seeing Sala. I love seeing the Nazis. I mean, that to me,
So-
it's always great when indies fighting Nazis.
So, is this a time travel movie?
God, I hope not.
You think?
I hope it's just flashbacks.
Boy,
Because a number
I
of
wasn't
people
thinking that.
people go into town with it's a time travel movie, and they are not saying yes or no. I have another.
because of the whole thing.
I have another
he
idea
alludes
based
to
on what we've seen.
magic, and I've seen crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He said,
What if this is?
I
what
don't
if the-
believe in magic, but a few times in my life I've seen things I can't explain.
Right. Now, we're not going to see one scene of him in the past because there's actually we saw like 3 different things with him in the past. So it's not going to be like a single it's not going to be like the Cross of Coronado thing at the beginning. It's not going to be a single flashback that sets it up. Okay, I don't think, because they seeded it in there a lot. So what about the quantum leap thing? What if the dial just puts you back where you were? And you see what I'm saying? So he's like, he's going back to where he was at that moment, changing things or something like that, and coming back. But I'm saying not directly time travel. Or
a dial of destiny sounds like it could do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but I just...
So it's basically a do-over thing.
They don't do it. He is... I mean... I love it when he's looking for an artifact. I don't really want it to be supernatural and magic.
They're all supernatural.
It's all supernatural, and that's the thing. It's like I love I don't really believe in magic. It's like, dude, you're not paying attention, because everything you've dealt with has been magic. Okay, it's like, yeah. No, I'm just wondering
but then
whether
he also says in the trailer, it's not what you believe, but how hard you believe it.
Yeah,
I don't even
get that. I don't get that line.
So just think about this for a second. This thing. Okay, we still have Nazis around. This thing potentially lets them go back and rewrite history.
Ooh. How about that? He wouldn't do it, though.
No, I'm saying he's keeping them from doing it.
Oh, I like that better.
So he's thwarting their efforts to get this thing through time.
Ooh.
Okay? And because they are going to go, because their thing of things is to, have the Forever Reich.
The Ark, because it made the army who carries the Ark invincible.
Exactly. And so this is like their idea of reestablishing the Forever Reich and his preventing it in over and over again. That's my plot.
That could be pretty cool.
So,
Barry, now you're on board?
Well, I just want it to be good. I almost don't care if it's time travel or not. I just want it to be good.
I would say a time travel something. Even if it's a dial, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of Stargate, the dial, an ancient dial thing. It fits more in with the power from the Ark of the Covenant than those space
it does.
people
it
in
does.
the fourth movie.
And so, think about this: when you got a really bad film, a really poorly received film, okay, and you've got high-quality writers, high-quality directors, I think your chances of putting out a much better follow-up are dramatically increased. Okay? I think... I hate to use the example of Wrath of Khan, okay? But they fixed everything that was wrong with that previous film. I think they have a template for what not to do wrong in this film. I have very few concerns about them screwing this film up. I really do. I am more worried about, I hope they kind of close out this chapter and they do it in a way that we can feel good about. And, this is going to be it. This is the last we're going to see of Indiana Jones. I want this to be good to the character in that way. And that's my only trepidation at it. I think it's going to be a good film.
I sent you guys this quote while I was away, but James Mangold said, "No one is taking over or replacing Indy or donning his hat, nor is he being erased, and he never was, not in any cut or script."
Yep.
So this is the last movie.
So what if he goes back, it stays back in time, and then we get a movie with a completely de-aged Harrison Ford?
Yep.
Next.
I'd be okay with that, but I don't think Harrison Ford can do it.
It's not going to happen, no. Yeah. So.
He's basically said he's done, right?
Yeah.
So
we don't even need him anymore.
But somehow, to stay in continuity, he's got to lose an eye by the 1980s. So
we're just a few years away, probably, from them not needing him anymore to do this. But
and again, it's I could be at peace with this character's arc completely being over with this film as long as this is a good film. It sickened me that the last film was the last film. And that's the only thing I felt good about this going down the line. Watching this, there feels like the spirit of Indiana Jones feels like it's in this movie. It's different settings, it's different environs, but you see the going through the streets and the kind of chaos of it and stuff like that, and his interacting with Sala and just the flat out being wrong, being totally positive but also being wrong, the bring the whip to a gunfight thing. It's just
Here's a question though. Do you think that there's any reference whatsoever to the last movie, or are they going to pretend like it never happened?
That is Barry, that is the question, because he supposedly has a son out there.
And a wife.
Yeah.
Though I think we do the pictures on the mantle thing like they did with Sean Connery.
Right. Well, you could do that for Marion, but the son, I mean, presumably
he's off in the Amazon
happened,
doing something.
But do you not reference him at all, or is there some throwaway line of Mutt's out of town?
Yeah. This is also how many years after the last movie? In Indy time. In Indy time.
It's the 50s, and this is 69-ish.
So we're talking like 15 years later.
15.
He's married, settled down, living in suburbia. The life didn't appeal to him.
I know, but I'm fine with that. I'm just wondering if there's any reference
Indy
whatsoever
calls
to
him
it.
at one point. You see the phone ringing, but he doesn't hear it. He's doing the dishes. That's it. You just see the back of his head.
The back of his head, and it's not Shia LaBeouf doing it.
It could have been. You don't know. So you see the sword, but you see the sword like propped in the corner, but he's out in the kitchen just doing dishes with the radio loud. That's it. Done. Yep. So.
Okay.
Look good, but we don't know.
I'm excited. I mean, we still
I don't want to know.
We still have
I don't
6
know
months to
anything
go.
until I
So
walk in.
Okay.
it's a long time.
So put a number on this. Optimism. 1 to 10.
Optimism.
8.
That how optimistic am I?
Based
from
on
seeing
what
the
we've
trailer?
seen, what we know, that this is going to be what we want. And I'm not even saying good or whatever. I'm saying what we want.
I don't even know what I want, but I put it at an 8.
You know what you don't want. I think we know what we don't want more than we know.
I think I know what I don't want.
I think they
but I just
really
don't
know
want
what
it
not to do.
bad.
Honestly, guys,
They can't. They can't screw this one up. This is the last chance. This is your last chance.
I was going to say an 8, and I thought I was higher than both of you. So,
I just think like what you said is right. They have to have learned. We've got good people doing this. I don't know what happened in the last one because we had good people doing this and they couldn't have screwed it up.
Well,
but
that's
they
the
did.
thing.
So,
I mean, not that I think that it's all Spielberg, but he's not involved. So
honestly,
He's involved.
it's the everything that was wrong with the prequels thing. It was like nobody wanted to speak up and say, "Yeah, this is just not going to play." And they're like, "Oh, this is great."
Spielberg has said it in interviews that he felt it wasn't right. But did he not? Was he not able to stand up to Lucas and say, "George, you're making a mistake"?
Well, a lot
I would
of
think
people
Spielberg
haven't.
is more powerful than Lucas.
But this
I
is
feel like they were so. Again, I don't know if this is, but I feel like they were so into the idea of we're making another indie movie, and it was the first indie movie that. If you remember back then, they filmed in upstate near you in New Hampshire or wherever it was, or
it was actually they filmed at Yale.
Yeah.
Yep.
The whole world knew about it. Everyone was showing. I think there was all this excitement about making the movie, and they kind of missed the boat on we got to make a good movie. It was a spectacle. I
wonder how long ago that movie was made. My head of school at the time, my boss, was there, and the president of Yale said, "Oh, would you like to meet Steven Spielberg?" So she brought her over to introduce her to Steven Spielberg, and she had to wait because Steven Spielberg's assistant was showing him his iPhone, and it was a first generation iPhone.
I remember that.
And he was one of the first people to get it.
Yeah.
So
I remember you saying that.
So that's how long ago that was.
I've recently done a bit of a deep dive on him again. I actually saw The Fabelmans, the new movie that he made, which was excellent. And then I watched that almost 3-hour documentary, this Steven Spielberg documentary. It's HBO has it, which was actually really cool. It was made a few years ago, but so much of I didn't know watching Fabelmans how much of it was like his story and how much of it was sort of augmented with made up or whatever. But then you see the actual documentary footage, and so many of the crazy things in the Fabelmans movie were actually real and happened in Spielberg's life. It was pretty crazy. But I definitely recommend that. I mean, I saw it in a theater. It's definitely not something you need to see in a theater, but I would definitely recommend when it's on and you can watch it, you should check it out. It was actually really good.
Cool. All right. So we're all optimistic. Next, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer. Is it a teaser or is it a trailer? I don't know.
It's a trailer.
That's a flat-out trailer.
Again, another thing of a lot of stuff.
I feel
don't know
like
what's
there's
going on,
even
but there's
less
some good
stuff in, like, it's a 2-minute trailer, but I feel like I got even less out of that than I did out of...
Well, Marvel's good about that.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed that they had matching uniforms, which I don't think I've ever had before.
They have the classic Guardians uniforms. Those were from the first time we saw the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. That's what they wore. Rocket wore that in Endgame.
Endgame, yeah.
But that was the first time we ever saw. And then we thought that was just like a little homage, and we weren't going to see it. But it's so cool, everyone wearing, because that is, like I said, that's the classic Guardians outfit.
The whole little baby Rocket, I could cry my eyes out.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
They can't kill Rocket, can they? I don't care if anyone else dies.
So they better not.
I think. So this is what I think. I think we're going to lose at least 2 people.
Oof.
And I think it's going to be Quill and Drax.
You think Quill?
Yeah,
I think Drax for sure.
I think Quill and Drax.
Ooh, Quill would be rough.
Yep.
You feel like you think we'll see a Rocket and Groot movie?
Well, here's the thing. Now, you talked about these people aging out. They could do Rocket, and the same voice actors could do them for another 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay? As long as they stay not dead.
You don't even need Vin Diesel. You've got enough I Am Groots at this point.
In fact, you just have a soundboard with the different I Am Groots in there, and you just hit it.
I don't love the Groot look, and I know he looks the same as he looked in the holiday special, but
I don't love it either.
do not like that look.
They're trying to make him a different character than the original Groot, and I agree with that. Unfortunately, I have to buy another Hot Toys figure, but them's the breaks.
I do love towards the end of the trailer when Groot's got multiple arms and he's got each one of them holding a gun. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Boy, that looks like a Butch Cassidy at Sundance moment too. The We Are Groot. When
it just has an epic feel. That's what
I think
got
this
out of
is
it.
going
it just
to
feels epic.
This is going to definitively close out these Guardians in a way that we may not be ready for. But I would guarantee you that Mantis will survive. I do think Rocket and Groot will survive, though Groot may need some regeneration again. And I think probably Nebula will be gone. And Gamora version 2, who knows?
I don't think they'll kill Quill.
I feel like if you're if you're making the last Guardians movie, that's where you go.
But you might want to keep him on the board because he's still a young enough actor. You might want to bring him back at some point. Whether you can afford
nobody
to.
Nobody dies for real in the comics anyways.
No, I know.
I wonder if he goes back to Earth and just lives his life out on Earth or something.
If him and the new Gamora actually reconnect and whatever, it would be really tragic to kill one of them off.
But that's what you go for. I mean, it's really tragic. I don't, like I said, I don't feel like they're going to come out of this with an intact team in any way.
Oh, I don't think they're getting.
And I think
out. But you could kill Nebula and Drax and still have emotional weight to it, and not kill.
They're the 2 most peripheral characters in that group right now. They just.
How about that Otter? I hope he makes it.
I really hope the Otter makes it.
Are there super enhanced other rodents out there?
Oh, there's got to be a whole batch of them.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. No.
Like a dozen rats, super intelligent rats.
I will say this: I'm far more excited after seeing this trailer for Guardians 3 than I am for Ant-Man and Wasp and Quantumania after seeing that trailer.
Yeah, I agree with that. Quantumania, that's not doing much for me.
But they're saying that it's an Avengers level movie.
I rewatched
I'm not getting
that tonight after I watched the Guardians movie, and if that's what's happening, it's very understated.
It's very understated. There's not a lot, and it's interesting. In this, we see very little Warlock. We see one shot of him. That's interesting, and he's supposed to be a big thing. I don't know. Again, I get the same, not feel, but the same conclusion. There's a lot of stuff going on. We don't know what any of it is, and it sounds like it's going to be awesome, just like Indiana Jones. I'm being positive.
Yes, we have a good summer to look forward to. Good movies coming out this summer.
Yep.
And maybe by this summer, Avatar 2 will still be in theaters, doing super well.
It'd be up to $3 billion.
It might make it. Yeah, it might be at $3 billion by then.
There's a chance. I think it's a slim chance, but there's a chance. Yeah, like I said, I'm optimistic for this film. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's one of the things that, like I said, James Gunn is done with this franchise, and I don't really want to see somebody else pick it up. I really don't. I would love to see some of the characters.
We'll see the characters.
I think the characters show up in other places. I think you could build a new Guardians team with different cosmic characters, but I think this team has to. I think there has to be a fork stuck in this, and I think I'm good with that. They've had a lot of screen time, and it's an ensemble thing. I mean, put it this way: in the Marvel universe, this is the longest lasting ensemble they have. So, the Avengers have been broken up a couple times. This is they had a good run.
Well, we'll see. Let us know what you think. Okay. Let's go. What's in the box?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? Oh, what's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Todd, I know what's in your box. So, Barry, what's in your box?
Okay. I just got this. I ordered this while I was on vacation. It was waiting for me when I got back. Todd's going to be happy about this, so I'm going to wait till he's paying attention.
Yep.
You ready? You ready? I got a model of
nice.
the Star Trek shuttlecraft, the new and improved version with the full interior.
Wow.
Which I am going to build, and Todd knows what that means. That means
That's
Todd
right.
gets the
You
first
got
one
to find
I
a
built.
home for the old one.
Once I finish this one.
Is it the same model, just with an interior?
Exact same model. The box shows it cutaway. It's not cutaway. It's the same exact exterior, but now with a full detailed interior.
So does the top lift off, or you just
the top slides back?
Oh,
and
nice!
There's a clear window in the roof.
Yep.
And I frosted the windshield on the first one because I lit it and I wanted it to just glow.
Yeah.
But this one I can keep it just glass, and the side door you leave open, so you can see in from multiple places.
And you have to safe flying it that way.
All those people?
I'm just telling you, people at home, do not fly your shuttlecraft with the door open.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But it's got a full. I don't know. I didn't open this yet, but the full dashboard is fully detailed. And what they did was all of the control panels. They made them in clear plastic, so if you want to light them from behind, you can. So I have to decide how crazy I want to go. I could potentially light the whole interior of this too, and even the panels on the side walls you can actually light with fiber optics if you really want to. So I have to decide. There's a company that makes a lighting kit for this
already.
But it's a little even more complicated than the lighting kit in the robot I built for you because it's not pre-wired and built. You have to wire all the LEDs and capacitors, and you've got to. It's on an Arduino board, so it's got actually light color changing lights for the nacelles, and it sounds like it's a great kit, but it may be beyond.
How many times you can turn it on though?
And it may be beyond my scope from an electrical perspective, just doing all the wiring, but it finally came out. I couldn't. I could have put it on my Christmas list, but I couldn't wait. I needed to buy it. So
of course you couldn't.
Yes. So as soon as
if you're going to build it in the next
no, I know
days.
I'm not, but I got the sense that this may not be a ongoing release. It may be a one and done. They might release it because they're also selling just the interior. So if you already bought the model but didn't build it yet, and you want to add on,
that would be a bad choice, Barry. I'm glad you didn't go that way. You wouldn't have been happy with that.
So
speaking of that, just as a sidebar, the original model of the original full size Galileo is now with the Star Trek tour.
Yeah, it's at
it's been
Ticonderoga.
shipped
I saw
there. Yeah.
they posted the other day that it had arrived.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty cool.
It was a picture of the shuttle with Elvis standing in front of it. Go figure.
Yeah,
Of course.
All right, so that's mine. So, Dave, what's in the box?
Okay, I have it over here. Do I need a light? I may need more of a light. Todd, I think, knows what this is.
I know what it is.
2 years in the waiting.
Oh, God.
The Princess Bride sword of Inigo Montoya.
That's
I
so
ordered
funny
this-
because when I re-listened to last year's most anticipated items, this was one of the things you said you were most anticipating as a
It was.
pre-order.
When did I don't know when I ordered. It's well over a year.
Yeah.
It's well over a year. Ah, man, I
And-
should have ordered that.
And it's funny because I don't know what I saw something online about it, and then it's been out for a very long time. And I know I got it from Fanboy. Troy, gets his allotments at different times than other people. But I'm like, there's no way I'm ever getting that. That was literally, and then 2 days later, I get the invoice, that it's in. So it's not on the website. So I don't know how many he got in, but I mean, it looks awesome. I have it. I put it on. I guess you can see. I put it on the wall here on the plaque. It comes with a plaque.
Oh, cool.
It's not the greatest build quality. It displays great. There's this whole leather thing that needs to sort of be reworked a little right here. There's definitely some glue in places.
And who made that? Is that like Factory Entertainment or
Factory Entertainment.
Yeah, okay.
I had to. So it hangs on these two hooks on the plaque, and then there's a little piece of wood that sort of holds it in the right position. It held it totally in the wrong position. I had to go and Dremel it out and stuff.
It's weird. I had to do that with my Jon Snow sword. I actually had to build up one of the pegs. I had to
Oh, really?
wrap the peg with something to get it to be level.
Yeah,
Because one
Mine
peg was slightly
actually
lower
very
than the
good.
other.
But it's steel actually. It's not aluminum. I actually I made a little tip for it because it's not sharpened on the sides, but the tip is very sharp. I don't want the cat let me smell that and poke himself in the
poking
face.
his nose out? Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, when I read a review online, there's definitely some things that could be reworked. Like these gems are glued in, and one of them has glue spilling. But whatever. It looks cool, and it's heavy too.
That's all that matters is that it looks
So-
cool hanging on the wall.
Yeah, I'm relatively happy with it. And I'm putting it back. There we go. So that's what's in the box. Well over a year in the making.
Well, and
Very
that's
cool.
why I was telling you guys. Now I keep a spreadsheet of the things I pre-order with the dates I pre-ordered them because I like to see how long it takes to get some of them.
Yeah.
We're well over 500 days on the Iron Man diecast Mark 1.
Oh, jeez. That's crazy.
Anyway,
Todd, what's in the box?
Okay, so this is also a little disappointing. I bought this skinny Steve Rogers figure, and it's kind of basic figure, really. It's from What If. It didn't really come with any weapons or not many accessories. Came with 6 hands. It also came with this thing.
Oh my god.
speaking of the Hydra Stomper, holy crap!
This is freaking awesome. He does fit inside this. He's got to be sitting kind of like what we used to call like Indian style when we could say that. It's like fully articulated from the waist up. The legs are not bendable, which is actually I would say when I first realized that I was a little bummed. But I'm not, because it's very stable. It's not going to fall over. I've had the Marvel Legends one for maybe a year now, and it's fallen over 50 times. It's very heavy, and it won't hold a pose, and the joints just kind of sag and it falls over. So this is really, really stable. It's got like a knee slightly forward position. Just is kind of a cool way to pose it.
The light up features are great on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And
so
this
bright.
is
The
it.
LEDs.
This is it. It's the chest and the eyes, just the way it was in the thing. I really love about this. I love mech suits to begin with, but the thing I love about this thing is this is basically like taking a Sherman tank and making it into a mech suit. They've got all the same kind of bolts and fixtures and nozzles and things like that were on a contemporary tank, and just made into a mech suit. It's just really cool in a neat retro way.
How does that compare size-wise to the Hulkbuster?
It is just a tad shorter than the Hulkbuster.
Okay.
And maybe just a couple inches. But like I said, he's just so freaking cool looking.
The weathering on it looks amazing.
The weathering looks awesome. And so again, he goes right inside there, and he's got a little enclosure there, and he's even got like a periscope thing, and it's really, really cool. This came in the third largest Hot Toys box that I have. The largest being the Hulkbuster and the and the Batpod, but not Batpod, the Tumbler. Yeah, it's just great. It displays really, really well. It looks awesome with Captain Carter. Barry, you would be really, really impressed with the weathering on this, because it's like everywhere where there's a point where it would rub, it is rubbed.
Yeah, I can see it through I mean, I'm sure in person it looks even better. But
it looks very, like I said, it looks like a piece of military hardware. There's even like around some of the there's like tiny little oil leakages around some of the hose fittings and stuff like that. And I like I said, super, super cool. Great detail in the back. There's actually, I didn't realize this in the movie, in the cartoon, there's actually foot pedals for her when she rides on the back.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That swing
I'm just
down.
amazed that they made this thing. I mean,
I am
too.
too. It's this is actually the third version of this thing made in different adaptations.
They must know that, especially overseas, like the mech thing is just so big that they knew they could sell enough of them, because to tool that thing up,
and this is
amazing.
The kind of quintessential what if thing. Like I said, I just love it. It displays so well. It's also more like, I will say, without the figure standing next to it, it's more like a statue, that's slightly movable. So I wouldn't mind displaying this thing outside of a case and letting it stand on a counter or something like that. Super, super pleased with it. And they made the switches for the light in the head and then the chest really, really accessible. You don't have to remove a panel.
Good. That's good.
The head has a cap that just kind of lifts off, and the switch is right there. Because
that's something Hot Toys always does.
Oh, God, it was so
hide
bad.
The switches so
I've got
bad.
so many Iron Man figures that I put the batteries in, took a picture, and then took them out because they were so inaccessible. And
then 6 months later, you can't even remember where the switches are.
Exactly. And this has there's a panel that holds the kind of jetpack thing in the back, and it's got you hold it on with a single screw. There's a magnetic cover plate for it. And again, cool. They did a nice job with it. The handholds are very, very secure. I had figures climbing it and stuff. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to display it yet, but it will be. I have Captain Carter and Skinny Steve. So I think it's, like I said, it's awesome. I was super excited for this thing, and other than when the reality of it was coming, I was like, oh, where the hell am I going to put this? But I love it. It's super cool, and you can still get yours if you want to. So
they're in stock,
and
receive
it in time for Christmas. So
they ship quick.
They do ship quick, because something that I ordered came in stock today, and it's already shipped. So
I got the notice for this, I think on Wednesday, and I had it by Friday.
Yeah. We're all on the East Coast, so that helps, but still.
Yeah.
If you live in, California, it's probably a different story, because mail takes time.
Yes.
But check them out, Fanboy Collectibles. Okie dokie. Any last thoughts? I don't know why I'm asking.
I don't have any last thoughts this week.
I don't have any last thoughts either. I'm thinking I should, because we've been off so long.
I know.
Somebody must have died. No?
No.
Well, good.
I don't know.
Good. That means it's been good.
It's good.
Yeah.
No more dying. Just remember to take a break and enjoy the holiday season. It's a very harried time. I went to see the Nutcracker in Manhattan at the New York City Ballet.
You did?
It was fun. Pam loves the Nutcracker.
Okay.
Loves the Nutcracker. So for her birthday, I bought me and her tickets to the Nutcracker. We've seen it in Lincoln Center 3 times, and we've seen it in Washington, D.C. We've seen it in New Jersey State Ballet, and we've actually seen like at the Westchester, which was not quite Lincoln Center. But
Yeah.
Did you have your AirPods in? Were you listening to something else, or did you?
no, I don't mind it. The
No?
Nutcracker's cool. Have you ever seen it?
I have not seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we
I
took-
love the
we-
mice. They have great mice costumes.
I took Evan to a couple different renditions, and I saw it myself several years ago, and it's always cool because the thing is too,
Yeah.
no 2 productions are the same. So
Yeah, we've seen
yeah.
4 or 5 different productions,
Yeah.
but Lincoln Center is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming outside of the Moscow Ballet, which they're probably not a priority over there right now. This was probably the best one that gets put on. But anyway, so remember to enjoy yourself out there. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.